This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
Hey there, everybody. We'll get started here shortly. We're going to get a few more people to pop in here, and of course, wait for Silk to come on in, and we'll sit here in this awkward silence for a hot second. If you guys don't mind, just reposting the space, get some more people in here to come and listen to Silk. If people want to laugh, she is definitely a hoot. So if you guys don't mind, just reposting it, that would be awesome, and we will get started shortly. Hello, Santino. I just sent you the co-host, my friend. Did you get it? Yeah, there you are.
I'm here. Thank you so much. Hi, Jenny. Hi, everybody else. How are you guys all doing?
Doing good. I just let everybody know we're gonna wait for a few more people to pop in, and then of course Silk. I'm a little early, but if everybody could just repost the space, and we'll get some more people in here to hear Silk. She's a hoot. She cracks me up. How have you been today, Santino? What did you do today? I know you were in one of my shows, so yeah.
Lots of stuff. I had lots of stuff to do. Just cleaning up, doing laundry. Then I hit the gym. Just a lot of stuff. Keeping busy. And then I was posting quite a bit in between. Lots is happening in the news. With China and tariffs. I think it's just ramping up a little bit more. A lot of the quotes that President Donald Trump has always said, the art of the deal. I mean,
Yep.
there was two tweets that he did in the past. One about gold and one about the art of the deal. So and even the press secretary today, she even quoted as well the art of the deal. She says, "I don't think you people understand the art of the deal. And when you come for Trump, he's going to punch back even harder." So I was really impressed. I actually really like her, Jenny. I obviously liked his previous
Oh,
um,
Kaylee McEnany.
yeah, I really liked her. She had a control of the room. She was really precise when she was doing her job. This one, she's a little more interactive, which is good. Like she shows more vulnerability about herself, but she's still like you don't want to screw around with her. She's on the ball. I think she took pointers from Kaylee for sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Santino. And everybody, again, if you don't mind reposting the space, go down in the little purple pill at the bottom if we've got one. Do we have one, Santino? Huh.
Yes, we do. It's at the
Okay.
bottom of the phone. Please go down to the bottom of the phone right there. Just go inside there. Please like the space, like and share the space. Please quote and share the space. Get some more people in here. It's a phenomenal space, and we have our special guest here.
Yes. And Miss Silk is in the house. What's up, girly girl? We can't hear you.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Oh
What are you
my
doing, Missy?
Oh my God. I'm here with you all and I'm getting ready for my show tonight. So I'm just in the groove
Well, we're
doing my
glad.
thing.
We're glad to have you. You're such a joy. I've done 4 shows today, so I was telling my audience, hey, if you want to come over for a good laugh, if you're feeling down, come on over and listen to Silk from the Diamond and Silk Show. So yeah, it's always a good time with you, Silk. So I'm glad that you're here.
Thank
What's going
you.
on in your world? I mean, I know these tariffs, man. A lot of people are freaking out about these tariffs. What's your take on these tariffs?
Well,
I
it's
think it's
about
obviously
time.
a great thing, of
It's
course.
about time. Yeah, it's a great thing. It's about time. President Trump and the American peoples are tired of people shitting on us. Let me just say it like that. All right. It's time for us to pull down our pants and start shitting right on back on them. Because
Right out the gate.
I'm trying to tell you because a lot of people don't even realize how all of this came about, who's all behind it. And I look at our politicians, okay, the ones that's supposed to be working for the will of the people, but they are working for the will of their best interest. I truly believe that our systems have been infiltrated for decades, okay, for decades, and that's how they're able to push all of this stuff to where their country is it's over ours. It's making money off of us. That means somebody over here is getting a kickback and a patty whack. One of these dogs is being given several bones. Okay. but but now you have President Trump. Hey, you don't have to give him a bone. He have his own bones coming into the game. All right. And with him doing that, he's like, okay, he's the same spill he's been talking way back decades ago. How we've been getting ripped off. All right. It's the same thing that's happening right now. And that's why he was like, enough is enough. Okay. If we don't do something right now, there will be no America. There would be no America. These people would take over and take our money, just like they've been doing. Okay. So I'm grateful for what he's doing. And I'm grateful to see that the manufacturing jobs will be coming back here to America for Americans to work. I remember back with Bill Clinton signing that NAFTA, doing that NAFTA deal and different things. And one thing I could not understand is if you're going to send the jobs to another country and then turn around and sell the products back to us, then how you expect us to pay for the products if we don't have no jobs? It just didn't make sense way back then. That was before I got into politics. Okay. But all I had to do was use common sense for that. And so, I hear a lot of people want to talk crap about what's going on, but sometimes when you are disturbing the status quo and you are unearthing the foundation in which it stands, it seems a little uneasy, a little queasy. Okay. And a lot of people don't like to be unmoved from the familiar. All right. But long gone are the days of the familiar with President Donald J. Trump. He wants you to see what we used to be and what we can still be. Okay. But we got to get these corrupt politicians out of the way and let President Trump do his thing. That's what we got to do.
I agree. And it's America first, everybody. It's America first, we the people first. So these tariffs, understand the tariffs and what is happening here. It's going to be the pinch here in the interim, right? A short interim of
Yep.
it.
Yep.
But the long term is going to be money like we've never seen and jobs within the USA like we've never seen. So he's given it back to we the people. So those people out there that are spinning that narrative and when they are spinning that narrative like what he's doing is so horrible. No, it's not, everybody. What we have been through with the Biden regime is
Yep.
worse than what people are trying to portray and do the propaganda with Trump. He's trying to save us from the bullshit. So
Yep.
look, take off off those, those negative thoughts if you're having them about what's going on. Look further into it, know what the tariffs are about, learn it, and because it's going to be great here in the long term. So, real quickly, everybody, if you, yeah, go ahead,
I was
Sil.
going to say, for the ones that feel like it's horrible, they don't understand what's truly going on. They didn't live, probably never lived in the time when it was good here in America, before they started shipping our manufacturing jobs overseas, and before these high tariffs just kicked in for us. We was just giving, and nothing's coming back in. Before all of this here stuff happened. See, I remember before all we got into this here particular stagnated situation, I remember when it was good, when mom and pop stores was rocking. People was able to survive. People was able to make a living and feed their families just off of a small job, one little manufacturing job. They didn't have to have 2 or 3 different jobs. Okay. So I remember all of those times back then. And then I remember whenever the switch happened and I couldn't understand what's going on. Americans standing on the corner talking about holding signs, talking about we'll work for food, but they had a job. But we got a lot of illegal aliens coming in here. The Americans is training them to do our job, then turn around, they get fired or laid off. Illegals, or at that time, I thought it just said Mexicans. I didn't understand the illegal terminology back then, way back then. And then they turned around after training these people, shipped our manufacturing companies overseas. And I'm like, how do they expect for we, the American people, to live? What President Trump is doing is giving back to the American people what the locals have stolen from us, what they've taken from us, what people, our politicians, have sold out to these different individuals to allow them to rip away at the fabric of America when it comes down to our manufacturing jobs. So it may look horrible right now. Like I say, it may seem a little uneasy. Like, oh my God, I'm not used to seeing this. No, you're not used to seeing somebody that is bold enough to go against that status quo, like President Donald J. Trump. They're used to seeing this old decrepit looking Jim Crow Joe Biden somewhere laying around just selling out all of America's wealth. Their people are used to being in that where you will have somebody to come in and say, they're going to do this. I'm going to do this for the people. I'm going to do that for the people. And they get their ass in there and do absolutely nothing for the people, but still lie and tell us more lies on top of those lies. That's all. But with President Donald J. Trump, we finally have somebody with some balls, with some straight up balls, baby, that don't have a problem going in there calling a spade a spade. The way he bringing China to the table, he's doing it by calling them out. Now, guess what, you all? It's like a square off, okay? Because see, our money, we're like the biggest buyers when it comes down to purchasing from these foreign countries, okay? With when you get rid of our money and we're not buying nothing from your country, guess what? That country gonna go broke. Hey, they can have all the manufacturing companies over there that they want to. They can work it and whatever they want to. All that stuff is just gonna be stockpiled because ain't nobody gonna buy it. It's not coming over here to America. So either you bring your behind to the table, all right, with some common sense, or you can stay over there with all of those manufacturing jobs, all of those products, and nobody buy it. Okay. So that's the type of, if people can just settle themselves down and let this goodness play out, let it go ahead on and unravel and play out. The Democrats and the deep state snake Republicans, the grand old ass party, okay, they have put this country into a web. It's a web. And if you've seen a web, it's like, as you begin to look at that web and start peeling that web, you find yourself still peeling and peeling and peeling, layers after layers upon layers. And that's what they've done to this country. And all President Trump is doing is cutting. He's cutting through the whole web, honey. He's cutting through the whole web and saying, come on, let's do this. No more beating around the bush. No more playing hokey pokey. No, 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 no. No more duck, duck, goose. No, 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 baby. Bring your ass onto the table so we can get this here problem solved. It's reciprocal trade, and that's how it's going to be. If you don't like it, then guess what? We don't have to buy from you. You can't import nothing into our country. Then, and China, they better be very, very careful with the game they play. Because I told my husband, I said, he'd probably be like, you can't bring nothing into this country. Not nothing. You can't sell nothing to the American people. Then what? Then what China gonna do? What Xi Jinping and all of them gonna do?
You know, and Trump is not messing around. We go back to you saying Trump's got balls. He's got big balls, everybody, and these balls are coming smacking people right smack dab in the face. So,
Bam, boom.
smack.
Those
Yes,
balls are so big,
yes,
he's
sir.
dipped them in gold.
Oh,
Yeah,
man, I
so
said
people
you.
better wake up and smell the coffee. Yes,
Or the
right.
balls.
Or the balls. Yes, yes, yes. Call them the Trump balls.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome, Silk. All right, everybody. If you guys want to ask Silk a question or make a comment, please feel free to request a mic. We will unmute your mic. She gives us typically about 45 minutes of her time because she has her little chit chat line over on Lindell TV. So, Lady M, I have unmuted your mic. So go ahead and ask Silk your question.
Oh, did I actually unmute it? My
Do you
bad.
remember Meredith Hoffman?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have a quick question for you. When it comes down to
She
when
married.
it comes down to the whole thing with the DR club collapsing, which my husband is from DR, right? I don't really think it's a conspiracy. Like Haiti set it up. Now, I mean, it's gonna be tenfold back. I'm not sure how, but this is something I want to talk about. Conspiracy. I mean, how did half a block of a club collapse like that? I mean, just in synchronicity, like, and then so now they're still finding people. They're screaming, still screaming to get out. These people have, and not to bring the mood down, but I'm saying,
Wait, Lady M, real quickly, what are you talking about? Or do you have a question for Silk? What are you talking about?
Yeah, for Santino, in particular, because I feel like
Well,
he
no,
and
this
I.
is the Silk Show. This is the Silk Show. So it's a question
Oh
for
my
Silk.
God. Yeah. All right. So my question is like, why did it collapse like that? I mean, is there anything that you could give me some feedback on? Because I mean, that's horrific. I mean, I could imagine being pinned down. It's 100 degrees and like I'm claustrophobic and they're still pulling people out.
So
And
Silk, do you know anything about that, Silk?
Are you talking about the club? A club that collapsed, killed some baseball players or something like that?
right from
Okay.
DR. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not real familiar with it. I just know that an incident happened, but nothing surprises me. And I can leave it at that because I'm not really familiar with it. I wasn't there to see it, to investigate it, but I did hear about it. I did hear about it. And
So
like I say, nothing surprises me.
yeah, me either, Silk. So Santino, do you know anything about that?
What was the question again, please?
It's about the club that collapsed in DR.
Yeah, how to do that so like just eloquently is like I mean they're still pulling bodies out and they're still they're pinned, but they don't have the manpower to pull them out. So why haven't they sent over like that quick the reserves and stuff like that? Like it needs to be done because
Go ahead.
people are still like screaming.
Go ahead, Santino, if you have an
You know,
answer.
this is just out of my head right away. I'll just say one thing. There's so many people that have donated money for food, for water, you name it. And the problem is sometimes you put your trust in certain people, and that does not get where it's supposed to go. It doesn't go from point A to point B, and that's where the problem is. I mean, yeah, it's the trust we have on these companies, and I believe some of it's going there, but some of it has been kind of misled. So I wish he was getting there sooner, but I think that with President Trump now here, I think he's starting to move in and starting to make sure that the supplies, the money, the water, because the water is so important, right? Because and the it's sad to say, but the bodies, there's so many bodies still there that they haven't even uncovered. And I think that when it was under the Biden administration, of course, he didn't give a shit. and we all can say that he didn't give a shit. And I don't even think he was awake. I think he was sleeping most of the time. So I think this is where we're at. But I think that now Trump is not talking about it. This is just my opinion. I think Trump is not talking about it, but I think they're working at it right now. That's what I believe.
Thank you. Thank you, Santino. All right, everybody. If you guys have a question for Silk, please feel free to request a mic. I will unmute your mic. Let's see. I've unmuted a couple mics. Go ahead, LRSCG. Your mic is unmuted.
Hey, thanks for having me. So
Of course.
first of all, just want to say big fan. Been watching you in Diamond, God rest her soul, for years, and we miss her.
Thank you.
And just wanted to pass that along. And I wanted your take. What's your take on Jasmine Ratchet, out of Texas?
You talking about Jasmine Crocker-Bull?
Rocket. But yeah, she's
Yes, ma'am.
ratchet as shit, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. Okay, listen, let me tell you one thing. This is one thing I know about the Democrat Party. One thing they love to use is Black people, right? They love to use Black people as a tool, okay, to push their liberal agenda, all right? And any Black person that will sell out to the Democrat Party will do, all right? And so what you see right there is a puppet. It's just a puppet. Because how is it that they are okay with the things that she's saying? All right. Now, when my sister and I first came on the scene back in 2015, everything that this child is portraying, they try to say that was my sister and I, like we were ghetto and all of this different stuff. And now that she's here, and I'm like, and I hear people talk. One thing that they say is Diamond and Silk got a little bit more class than that. They're more intelligent than that. But Jasmine she's doing what her puppet masters are instructing her to do. Okay. And what it does, it distracts from the old heads that's up there that's about bent over in wheelchairs and it's still in a rest home and so forth. We don't see that, but all we see is Jasmine. She is serving her purpose as a distractor. All right. So that's why I don't give her much, a whole lot of recognition. Okay. We may share stories. They may share articles or whatever when she says something stupid or dumb, but once again, she's serving as a distraction so we can be focused on her and not focus on the real people that's stealing our wealth, that's stealing our money. All she is just a puppet being set there to push it out there. Because just think about it, with all of this dumb stuff that she say and how it makes the Democrat Party look bad. Why aren't they saying anything? Why aren't the top dogs saying anything? Why? Because she's been placed there as a puppet to push it, just like AOC. Just think about it. When AOC came on the scene, she was in place, put her right there for her to be a distraction. Now we come to find out these people have been laundering money left and right. All right, been stealing Americans' wealth. So that's my take on Miss Jasmine Crocker-Bull. Okay, she's full of bull.
Thank you, Silk. I appreciate it. I just thought it was funny that, you find out she grew up, she went to private school, lived in, upper middle class neighborhood. And then she tries to portray herself as, coming from somewhere completely different.
Like from the hood and all of that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. And see, what they want her to do is to try to resonate, to be the new Al Sharpton, female Al Sharpton, so they can have somebody as this leader of the Black community. But they got the wrong one. No, she's just straight up hood. And she's like a fake hood. That's how I look at it. That's what she strikes me as. And that, once again, those are the individuals that the Democrats will use to put in the face, especially of the Black community, to say that this is how you're supposed to act. This is how you're supposed to be. Okay. And make it okay for you to be that way. All right. And once again, it's nothing but a distraction. That's how I look at it.
Yes, ma'am. Did you hear her comment? And then I'm going to shut up so somebody else.
Go ahead.
You're good.
Did you hear her comment about the picking cotton the other day?
I did not. I came across it, but look, I'm doing like 15 different things. I came across it and meant to go back. What happened? What did
Well,
she say?
basically, she said, we no longer pick cotton, but we need the illegals here, the migrants here, because those are the ones that are going to pick cotton, basically. But we
Let me
don't pick cotton by hand anymore. It's so it's just, and this is the other crazy thing that drives me nuts that the left does. If you stop and look at the overall immigrant population, about 1% are doing that, the field work and everything else, and they're coming in normally on work visas. That's not why all these illegal immigrants that are living in our inner cities are here.
Correct. And a lot of them ain't out there picking cotton or picking the vegetables and the fruits. They work in American jobs. A whole lot of the ones that's on these different visas and here illegally. But let me say this. Democrat Party is the party of slavery. They're slaves way back in the day. They was the party, like I say, it still is the party of slavery. It just have another face to it. Okay. And sharecroppers, they pick the cotton and different things. So what Democrats are looking for are new slaves. That's why they want the illegal aliens here. Somebody that's going to work for slave wages. Somebody that don't know any better. So as long as they can stay out there and say, we need somebody to pick the cotton. We need somebody to do this. Well, you already have people to do what needs to be done. We have machinery here, okay, to do what needs to be done. We don't need a whole nother set of people from a foreign country to come over here and do what we can do right here in America with Americans. All right. But once again, it's not about picking cotton. It's about them finding votes, having people to vote for them, having a new set of slaves that they can control. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. Then one thing I found out about Democrats, they love to create a situation, use that situation to make it look like, oh my God, we have nobody to pick the vegetables. Huh? But what the hell were we doing before illegal aliens was coming in here and people was coming in here with visas? The vegetables still got picked. Okay. So once again, the agenda is not about picking the vegetables. The agenda is about them finding them another class to vote for them. Okay. That's my opinion.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And once again, love you. Been watching you for years, and keep up the fight, my good lady.
I sure will, darling. Thank you. God bless.
And that she is. She's keeping that fight up, everybody. If you guys are watching her on Lindell TV, you guys got to check her out. She's a hoot. She comes here every 2 weeks. So if you want a good laugh, come to the Silk Show. All right, everybody. If you have a question for Silk, please feel free to request a mic. I will unmute your mic. Santino, I'm going to go to you, my friend, since you're the co-host. Do you have a question for Miss Silk?
I didn't have a question. Is my hand up?
I know I put you on the spot.
Okay, well, you know what? I actually did. No, actually, I was actually posting. Of course, I'm always posting my President Trump because I adore Mr. President Trump. I just adore him. But I want everybody to understand that when this lovely lady is talking about tariffs, we have to stand behind Trump. Trust his judgment. He knows what he's doing. We're already seeing all these things going up. We're seeing the oil go down. We're seeing the price of gas go down. The eggs are going down. Things are moving along nicely. And China, yes, I was just posting something. Allegedly, they've made, I think, here it is. They have made over $1 trillion off the American country. This is insane. So to even think, no wonder they're so pissed off. You're absolutely correct. I wanted to just ask something personal, okay? Maybe it's too personal.
Okay.
I want to ask you something really personal, but maybe it's just too personal.
Ask me. Say what you got to say. If I don't want to answer it, I'm going to let you know I don't want to answer.
How was it growing up with your sister?
Oh, it was phenomenal
That's
growing
why I
up with
want.
my
That's why I
sister.
wanted to ask you, because you know what?
10
I
months
had a
apart.
sister, and I lost my
Hmm.
sister. She was 49 years old, and she died. She died of
Uh-huh.
lymphoma cancer. And I miss her every single day. And I'm not just trying to bring the space down. I just want to ask you a personal question. Beside the
Yeah.
terrace, you're absolutely on point with everything, but I want to know how it was growing up with your sister, because the two of you, I just love you two, and I always watch that famous clip of you guys laughing when he says, I can't. Every time I hear that clip, Jenny, I die. The way
Yeah.
they're laughing and they keep laughing. Go ahead.
Yeah. You know what? They really considered my sister and I Irish twins because we're 10 months apart. Okay. I have other brothers and sisters, but we're all the four of us. I have what, five brothers? Excuse me. There's five children. All right. I'm the oldest of everybody, but we're all 10 months apart, except for the last one. My mother and father waited 10 years and had the last one. So, my sister, Diamond, were like close. I mean, we completed each other's sentence. Okay, we grew up just like that. All right, we were sisters. Okay, and as she uh, transitioned and God called her home, God gave me an understanding whenever I went into her bedroom and I sat there and I was like, oh God, how can you take my sister? Not my sister. There's so many people out there that don't even want to be here. They want to be there, but you want to take my sister. And it's like something came and just stopped me while I was sitting there on the floor by her bed and said, I needed her more. I need her more. I need her more. And that thing calmed my spirit because see, my arms is too short to box with God or anybody else. And what I had to do is accept that God needed her more, but he needed my voice to be heard. All right. One thing about my sister and I that a lot of people don't know, I was the message. She was the messenger. You follow me? So a lot of times you hear Diamond speaking, she was speaking what I had already told her because she knew how to deliver it. All right. So God needed her more, have her, but guess what? The message is still here.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
It's just brutal. I'm just a little bit more brutal.
I love it.
Diamond. Do you follow what I'm saying? And I had to come to terms with that. Don't get me wrong. There's days I'm like, it's just like, oh, at this point, I wish my sister could be here. We all have those moments if you have siblings, okay? All right. But my spirit is rested in knowing that God needed her more, and everything that she fought for is now happening. And it's like I was telling somebody, I think I was talking to Mike Lindell. I had him on the show the other night. And like I was telling him, I believe Diamond is up there saying, okay, God, I'm going to need you to go down there to them streets and I'm going to need you to help President Trump out, help Mike Lindell out. He been flying through here like Santa Claus, trying to get these elections under control and just telling God what needs to happen down because there's a lot of corruption going on. Because everything, like I said, that Diamond fought for, believes in, is unfolding right now before us today. And I have to stay in that spirit so I won't get angry, so I won't be mad, so I won't be upset. And to be able to continue on with the Diamond and Silk brand, don't get me wrong, you have your trolls out there, but guess what? My comeback is that Diamond and Silk is a registered trademark and something that my sister and I built. I would be a fool to just let it go away. And if Colonel Sanders can still have his face on the Kentucky Fried Chicken box, then I can still have Diamond's face right here on our pages because she's part of the Diamond and Silk brand. And guess what? I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm part of the Diamond and Silk brand. You have Ben and Jerry. If Ben died, do Jerry get rid of the ice cream? Do he just stop selling the ice cream? So the bottom line is that Diamond is my heart, all right? But God needed her more. And for the strength that I continue to have to keep this brand going, for God to give me the words to say. I may be a little bit more raunchy and a little bit more brutal. And like I told him, I just don't have my sister here to stop me, because it's been plenty of times that she would just stop me and say, Steph, no, you can't say that. No, you don't need to say that. But now I don't have nobody here to stop me. So y'all just gonna get the raw silk. That's just
I
about it.
love the raw
Jenny,
silk.
Diamond, I totally you're absolutely on point, because my sister would stand there and say, "Shh, please don't, or that thing where you clench your teeth. Oh my God, what is he going to say now?"
Yeah.
She said it's in around, so now I just run my mouth, but I'm not even running. I just say
Yep.
whatever I have to say, because what I want to say is what I want to say. So that's
Is what I
and
want to say.
the thing I miss is that. So she was exactly what you say. I'm like you in that sense, where I just take it or leave it. I am who I am, and I'm going to call it as it is. I'm going to call a spade a spade.
That's
Amen.
right. That's right. Yeah.
All right,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Silent, go ahead. Your hand's up.
Hey, good
Hello.
evening.
Hello.
Thanks for the mic. What's up, Silk?
Hey, what's
Uh,
up, Silent?
oh man, hanging out. I got one thing. I'm so sorry about your sister. Um, y'all were just dynamite together. I mean, it was good to watch you guys. And she's up there watching down on us and stuff. I do understand. I can empathize. I lost my brother in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
He got run over by a car, so I can understand kind of what you went through in a
Mm-hmm.
different way. But I got like a couple quick questions.
Sure.
And I'm bringing this up because I'm in Texas, right? And I'm a precinct chair and a delegate, and we got some stuff coming up where we have some caucuses that are coming up, etc. But we have got to find a way to get this Jasmine Crockett out of office. You know what I'm saying? And I'm working with some guys in North Texas. I'm down in Houston area, but uh, I thought maybe you might have a few suggestions, like how we can flank her, because I know you've been watching her and her behaviors, and they're just it's ghetto. I hate to say it
It's
that way,
really
but
straight up ghetto, right? I
it is.
haven't, okay, let me say it like this. I hadn't been watching her, but I've seen her. Okay. Here's the deal. What you see going on, once again, is part of the setup. It's part of the setup. You want to get rid of her? No, she ain't gonna be gotten rid of if she's doing what her puppet masters is telling her to do. Look at AOC. How is AOC still in there? And she ain't done nothing. Huh? Just think
That's
about
true.
that.
Yeah.
Look at
No, that's
Nancy
true.
Pelosi. How her old ass still up in there? That you don't see them running no campaigns, but they always getting in. See that they got this particular fraudulent setup that they only gonna put in who they want in and who's gonna do the will of the party. Okay, they don't give a doggone about the people. They're only concerned about who's gonna do the will of the party. So what you're gonna have to do is ignore Jasmine. That's what you're gonna have to do and keep on moving. All right. Once, like I said, she's a distraction. That's all she is. She's a distraction. And I heard President Trump mention her the other day. He don't even need to mention her no more. They're looking for that attention so they can keep us focused on the distraction. Then we won't see how they're actually stealing our wealth right from under us. They did the same thing with the AOC and with the what they call themselves, all of them. Oh God, AOC plus three, all of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, remember
the
all of that?
crew. Yeah, the
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And now we find out years later that what? They done open up all these different non-governmental organizations, these NGOs in different places, and got our money ciphered all over this world itself back to the American people. And they've been doing it for a very long time. So when it comes down to Jasmine, she runs on the Democrat side, and they're gonna put in who they want in. Look at Gangsterline Maxine, been in there for all of these decades. Okay, why hadn't nobody replaced her? Huh? Because she is carrying the water for the Democrat Party. Ain't nobody. So don't worry about replacing her. You're gonna have to worry about do what you're doing. But keep in mind one thing, and a lot of people be like, "Sil, you should run for office." I'm like, damn that. I said, if I run for office, I'm gonna have to run with by carrying a hoe, because it's so. And I ain't talking about a prostitute. I'm talking about a garden tool, because there's so many because there's so many snakes up there. There's so many snakes. I would be surrounded by so many snakes, Democrats and Republicans. Okay. And so I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do that. It would not be good for them if I was up there. It just wouldn't work. So so that I can have a peace of mind, I stay away from the middle of it. And eventually Miss Jasmine Crocker Bull will get hers.
See, I brought that up for a reason, because I'm of the belief, like, I look internally, like, if something happens, what did I do? How could I fix it? What can I bring some resources around, help people out, whatever.
Mhm.
This is all our fault. This is all our fault for not being involved. And I was going to ask you a question, and this is the last question I had, and I appreciate
Yeah.
the time. Uh, are you familiar with America's Future?
Is that an organization?
Yes.
I'm not familiar with it. You can tell me a little bit about it right quick.
All right, 10,000-foot view. General Flynn is the head of it, and you can see everything you want to see. Just go to americasfuture.net,
Okay.
and everything you want to know is on there. And they work with child trafficking, things like
Mhm.
that. They have organizations called Project Defend and Protect Children.
Mhm.
They got Liz Crokin on the team. They got Laura
What do
Logan's
they
part of
do?
it.
What do they do?
They go into local markets and they teach people how to look for signs of human trafficking, whether
Okay.
it be sex trafficking, labor trafficking, any kind of trafficking like that. It's a tremendous events that they have. I've been to 2 of them, and
And let me
uh,
ask you this question, darling. Once you
mhm.
look for it and you find it, then what?
Well, you have to report it to the right authorities,
Okay.
because I mean we can't physically do anything about it, right? But if you see a girl with a neck tattoo on the back of her neck, she might be branded.
I
It's a pretty
got
good
you.
chance. You see
I
what I'm
got you.
saying?
See, here's
Uh,
my deal, and I want to be respectful to what you're saying, and I love Mr. Flynn and all, and I don't have a problem with anybody having an organization. My deal is, what is that end goal? Okay, we gonna see somebody that's been sex trafficked. We report them. Then what? Then what? Is anything really truly getting done? Are they going to allow somebody to go back out there on them streets? And then we donate to these different organizations. All right. And that at the end of the day, the same stuff keep on happening. So, and I'm not saying anything against any particular organization. I'm not saying anything against the will of somebody wanting to do something great. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, what is the end goal, and how will it stop whatever your mission is? How would that help stop this nefarious act from even happening?
well, that's a good point, and I can
Mhm.
answer that.
Yes, sir.
Another component of America's Future is they work with folks uh, to activate themselves with local action. And the biggest problem
Mhm. Mhm.
with what you said about, okay, let's say we find somebody, we get them arrested, they go to jail. It's the DAs, and
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it's on a local level, and that's Flynn preaches that all the time. Local action has national impact, and he's absolutely right. I'm in the middle of it right now with the school board caucus
Mhm.
locally here where I am, and it's unbelievable what I'm seeing, and I'm learning because it's the first time I've ever really done it.
Oh.
But my first year really, and but and they encourage everybody to do something in their local communities, and if we have enough of that, then we've got a groundswell, right, of
Mhm.
us. We have a groundswell of America's first. We got a groundswell of keeping our republic that Trump is trying to bring back to a constitutional republic, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Not a not a not a not a corporate machine that steals all our money, and that's what we're dealing with. So,
Mhm.
but that's a big component too. So they teach people, but they also work with people on local action. So
Mhm.
that's one
And
of the
that's
reasons why I'm
good.
involved.
And
Yeah.
that's amazing. That's
And that
amazing, an amazing job with what the way that you describe this here particular organization. But what I've found is that there is a lot of organizations that's doing different things. And like you say, we're swelling at the ground with everything, but we can never make it to the middle because there's somebody is always at the top trying to figure out how to keep that mission down. How do we get to the top to remove the snake, the head of the snake is what we got to do. Because as long as we stay around the tail of the snake, ain't nothing gonna get done. And see, that's where I've been at. That's where
that's
I've been
right.
at when it comes down to a lot of things. Where is the head of the snake? And that got to be removed first before we can get anything done. I understand that we have Pam Bondi, we have Cash Patel, Dan Bongino. We got different people in position, but it's time for them to act. All of this other bullshit about this committee hearing, that committee hearing. I'm tired of all of these different hearings. Okay, we've been hearing a lot from these hearings, and ain't said nothing yet. It's time to start arresting people that have stolen our wealth. It's time to start arresting people that set up this country for failure. It's time to go and put some handcuffs on Jim Crow Joe Biden and take him straight to jail for opening up our country to these terrorists. Okay, we can talk about all of this other stuff, but when we have clear evidence how they took our money and just deliberately gave it to illegal aliens, and we have evidence of that, it's time to go lock them mofos the hell right on up. And that's where I'm at. I'm tired of all of this other little stuff, silent. A sister is tired of that bull crap. It's time to get down to the real nitty gritty. Who is the head of the snake? And go lock that mofo right on up. Go ahead
well,
on and start that process because
well,
right
you're
now
right.
we're wasting time.
You're right. And I'm gonna shut up. And I appreciate you answering the questions. I'm gonna put the link to America's Future in the purple pill for you, so
Thank
you
you,
can grab it.
sweetie.
Okay.
Thank you, sweetie. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the time. God bless you.
God bless
Thank
you,
you, Silent.
sweetheart. Thank
All
you.
right, Ms. Reaper, go ahead.
Miss Reaper.
What's up, everybody? Hello, beautiful Diamond and
Hello.
Silk,
Hey,
the beautiful
sweetie.
Jenny and Santino. I'm Rosie. Oh, I see Rosie down there. She's a good one. If y'all aren't following all these amazing people, make sure you are. Make sure you're sharing out the space. All right. So y'all are in my wheelhouse whenever it comes down to the figuring out this whole human trafficking and also the prostitution issue. And you know, I think one topic that's not discussed enough, and it really, I feel as if though it is a major, it's a major sensory point, if you will, is the trauma bonding that occurs with one of these victims. How do we keep them from going back? How do we keep them from maybe going and perpetrating themselves, so to speak, meaning going out and also being complicit in the act of, trafficking or helping to assist in such, because this is a very diabolical cycle that occurs, and a lot of it has to do with the trauma bonding. You'll go save one of these young women, one of these young girls, and you're talking about somebody who has been 9 times out of 10 put on drugs. So now we're dealing with a come down. Okay, we're dealing with an addiction. All right. So her body is going through so many different feelings. And then on top of that, the trauma bonding and what someone with that goes through. So now you're talking about 2 different addictions. Trauma bonding itself is worse than a heroin addiction when they go through it. The chemical imbalance that occurs in the brain. So we have to really make sure that we're getting these women and these young girls and these men and these young boys, okay, because they are not out of the realm of getting touched, and it's getting high, okay.
I got you.
And that is something else, the therapy that is required. You can put them in a halfway house and try to rehabilitate them all day, but we have to know that once we put them back and acclimate them into society, that they're not going to have that victim's guilt, that they're not going to revert and try to go back to that lifestyle, because that statistic is really heartbreaking within itself.
So with everything that you just stated, Ms. Reaper, but everything that you just stated, my question to you is, who's at the top of this that have created this particular issue that's trickled down to these the individuals that you're speaking about, that's going to possibly have a mental breakdown because of their circumstance? Who's at the very top? When you talk about drug dealers, just give me a minute, baby. I got to get this off my head. I'm 54 years old. If I don't get this thought out, I've been forgot it. When you talk about drug dealers, okay, yeah, we can go get all the drug dealers off the street. But if we don't get the ones that's bringing the drugs in to the drug dealers, then guess what? The drugs are still going to keep coming in. You follow me? So we got to stop the traffickers, the people that's actually doing the trafficking, before all of this stuff that you're speaking about right now will stop. We got to get the cartel that's at the head. And I believe that the cartel is in our government, which
There
is
you go,
allowing that
bingo.
to happen. Yeah, it's allowing it to happen right here in our country. So how do we stop that? When you stop that, then everything else will stop as it trickles down to the bottom. That's how I feel about it.
Oh no, and I 100% agree with you. I mean, we're talking about a $3 trillion plus industry. That's only facilitated one way, okay? And that is with the governments, and it's not just our government. I mean, this is an international syndicate, so to speak. So,
Correct.
And also know real quickly, Reaper, our tax dollars, everybody, is going to fund these mother trucking cartels and the trafficking of the children, the harvesting of the drugs. Our tax dollars, everybody. That should piss everybody off. Sorry, Reaper, go ahead.
And you know, until we start locking people up and get it for treason and holding them to the actual the standard of what treason entails, which means if that's the death penalty, that's the death penalty. Until people start having fire put up underneath their ass, until people have the fear of God put in them that this country is not going to put up with it, it'll never stop.
It'll never stop. Exactly. And so just ask yourself, with our borders under Jim Crow Joe Biden for 4 years, our borders being wide open, allowing individuals to traffic humans. Hell, the Biden regime was trafficking humans. Whenever you flying them in from this state to that state to that state, you ain't doing nothing but trafficking human beings. Well, how many children done got lost? Did they ever find all those children? Just think about all of that. You know, when I look at the fires there in California, don't they have tunnels? Was that where the children are residing? I mean, just it's so much, there's so many questions. But guess what? None of that is gonna stop until we get the head snake. You got to get the head of the snake. Who is over this beast? And that's what got to be cut off. That's what's got to be cut off before we can really, really, truly get anywhere in this country. And that's what I see President Donald J. Trump doing. Okay, he's cutting them off at the top. That's what he's doing when he's going through the tariffs and calling these different countries out and say, you're not going to take advantage of us no more, and calling the country who it is straight. And he'll stand on stage. President Trump, I love him so much. He'll stand there and say, we're good friends. Me and Chi, we're good friends. But then turn around and say, now your ass gonna pay 104%, or you ain't gonna do this. That's how he. I love it. That's how
they're them big balls.
That's right. Exactly.
I don't see a problem with that. I see no problem with that. I like you, but pay up.
Yeah. And he cuts it off at the top. He went straight to President Trump, went straight to China. Boom, called their asses right on out. Now look, now we're gonna see who balls is bigger. Okay. All right. That's what we about to see right here. And see, he didn't do like Jim Crow Joe Biden and them did, just sold out. Well, Joe Biden came in and did all these executive orders, removed a lot of different things that Trump had in place, and sold out our country to the highest bidder. That's what the Democrats did. All right. For 4 years, this country straight up was in hell. I didn't hear none of them complaining. I didn't hear none of them talking about anything. I didn't hear none of them saying, oh my God, the eggs are high. Oh, the gas is high. Oh, the markets are low. Oh, this is going to happen. That's going to happen. Now, we at this situation with President Trump, and you hear all of them crying, oh my God, how are we going to survive? If they didn't say nothing for the last 4 years while we was going through hell under Jim Crow Joe Biden, then shut the hell up right about now. Shut it right on up.
I love you, Silk. Oh my gosh. All right, Miss Rosie, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Hey, hey guys,
Rosie.
it's great to talk to you. Reaper, thank you so much, Jenny Santino. And
Of course.
Silk. It's wonderful to have you here and for you to share your time with us. So I'm going to add on that because these bad people, I'm just going to call them bad people because President Trump has a way of saying good, bad, and they have really meaning. These bad people who are at that top, I'm waiting for the day because these cartels, they're embedded in. And I'm mentally prepared. I'm sure you are too. But for all of us in the space, it's going to get militarily involved because Kash Patel's making drug arrests left and right. But he's not showing them. And I find that really interesting. No perp walking going on. I believe there's cartel arrests happening here. And I think we're about to see some sparks fly from our military into those people in the tunnels in Mexico, in the US, wherever they're at. But I think that's kind of because if they're finding the drugs, they know where the people are. They know where their trains are. I'm curious about your thoughts on that.
Well, I totally agree with you. Sometimes you have to leave some things on the down low as you're uprooting all of the corruption. I totally have that part. But for the American people, it's time for us to start seeing some of these people prep walked. We got to start seeing them in handcuffs so that we can know that something is truly going on. But yeah, at the end of the day, they're doing what they have to do, but we got to see something so we can stop complaining. We can stop talking about it, and we can see some things happening. Okay, we still got people holding their breaths, trying to figure out, oh wow, am I going to be able to live for the next 2 or 3 years? You know, I'm restrained on this, restrained on that. We got to see something happen. If you got Elon Musk, you got them with Doge, which I think should be Droge, Droge, because it's Democrat and Republicans officially getting exposed. But if they're able to find the fraud, then those people need to be arrested. Like I said on one of my videos, if they can arrest Bernie Madoff, who made off with a lot of people money, we got a lot of people that done made off with America's money, then they need to be arrested too. And I understand Bernie Madoff done passed away, God rest his soul. But for the ones that's still living and they defrauded the people, they needs to be prep walked. We need to see them on the TV nationally. We need to see them being prep walked for what they've done and how they've defrauded our country. So the heads, like you said, Rosie, the cartels, I truly believe that the cartels are embedded in our Congress and our Senate. When I look at all of the different congressmen and senators or Congress members, let me say it like this. When I look at all of the different Congress members and I look at the number of foreigners who is in working as part of our Congress members, they're supposed to be working for the will of the American people, not the will of foreigners. But I see a lot of them working for the will of foreigners. And the reason why they're working for the will of foreigners is because they are a foreigner. They are not a naturally born American citizen. So if we got our systems infiltrated with these different individuals who are possibly part of the cartel, guess what? The snake is right here in the pudding. We're going to have to take the whole pudding, throw everything out, burn it up, hell for all I care, because this is not about it being foreign. It's about it being domestically right here amongst us. And that's what got to be cut off, baby, because they done infiltrated all of our systems. That's how they feel like it's okay to give our Social Security money to illegal aliens, to people that hadn't even put into our systems. They think that stuff is okay. Give them free food stamps. They think that's okay. Give them free medical. They think that stuff is okay. Why? Because they've infiltrated our system and had nothing been done to them. So they're going to have to go ahead on. And like I say, I keep talking about the snake. Yeah. President Trump talk about the snake too. Guess what? We got to get rid of them bastards.
Amen. And remember, everybody, the cartels are our government, our corporations, Hollywood. That's the cartels. That's what we're dealing with.
Yes, and that's I just wanted to say thank you for saying that out loud, because we look at these people who are supposedly our representatives. They're working hand in hand with that cartel, and I think that's going to be an awfully empty building when things get done.
And that it never. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, Santino, you know
No. I just wanted to piggyback what you're saying, and that's why we see all these elite celebrities stand behind them. They go up on the stage and they just echo, vote for these people, because they got so much to lose. Their hands are just as dirty as those politicians and those traffickers. So they're there doing the same shit.
Yeah.
You know, being a native New Yorker, I learned there from seeing enough. I'm not going to use a bad word, but enough of the nonsense. I saw not only the mafia, I saw them in bed with the government. I saw them in bed with the school districts. Guys, it's all tied together. Gangs, cartels, school districts. They're all like, this is when the swamp is deep was said, couldn't have been truer words. So like,
that's right.
Glorious. Loving
it. It's hard to drain the swamp when you have these rats clogging the pipes. And so it's like done turned into a sewer now. It's just done turned into a sewer. So it's time to pump all that shit
with rats in it.
Sewer. Yeah. It's time to pump it all out. Those possums that's just been living down there dreadfully, just eating away at all of the bull crap. It's time to pump all of those demonic, evil, pedophilia demons out, is what it's trying to do. Or burn the whole thing down and start all over. Because President Trump is a builder. He can rebuild. Okay, listen, y'all. I love y'all.
I love you, girl.
Simon and Sue Chit Chat live show. They're calling for me right now. I look to see you all soon. I'm going to be talking to some J sisters tonight. And I hope you all stop by to hear their stories. And Jenny, thank you so much for having me on. God bless.
All right, sweetie. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and get in touch with me so I can help you with these J6ers and getting their voices out there along with you. I'm happy to do it here on my show.
Yes, ma'am. Will do.
All right. Love you. Talk to you in 2 weeks.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. So Silk comes here every 2 weeks, and come back and visit with us 2 weeks for Silk. And with that, everybody, have a great evening. Santino, if you want to open up a space, I'll come and be a listener, or I'll co-host with you. But I've done 4 shows today, and my tongue hurts.
Hey, listen, Jenny, I'm just mortified. I want to leave this with Diamond, so I hope this isn't an injure. I'm reading this. I'm watching a C-SPAN video with Connie and Chung standing behind Chuck Schumer, and this is what he says: Trump raises the tariffs on China to 125%, pauses some tariffs for 90 days, and simultaneously the stock market skyrockets. And you know what this mothball shithead says? So look, you can't undo the damage. The Trump slump is upon us now. Can you imagine this guy?
He's a piece of shit.
This is what you're going to hear. This is the garbage you're going to start hearing, and it's just echoing shit. Absolutely.
So prepare your minds for that, everybody. We're gonna hear a lot of bullshit. So stay out of the noise, stay out of the bullshit, stay out of the negativity, because we are winning. Trump just signed something today regarding the elections. Remember, 2020 isn't over yet, so this is going to be huge. If I find it again, I'll repost it. But yeah, this is huge. So with that, everybody, God bless you. We'll see you somewhere on a space here, but I'm gonna go.
God
chill
bless
out
you,
for a little
Jenny.
bit.
God bless you, darling.
Love you guys. If you guys are in a space, I'll come visit you. Take care, everybody. Good night.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.